This is CNN, a network of Turner Broadcasting System.
Coming up in the next half hour of Newsnight Update, tonight's guest, Gordon Inkelis, the author of the book Unwinding, will tell us how to eliminate stress in 3 or 4 minutes. We'll talk to Gordon Inkelis, the author of the book Unwinding. He'll tell us about 3 to 4 minute massages that help eliminate stress, massages that can be done at home or at work. Tonight we're talking to Gordon Inkelis, the author of the book Unwinding. He says the basic idea behind the book is to teach employers and employees how to relax on the job in 3 to 4 minutes. Inkelis says he got hooked on the subject after his first massage and then eventually started teaching the technique and is now licensed as a massage therapist in California. Gordon, hello and welcome to Newsnight Update.
Hi there.
We have a little bit of an unusual situation. I think you're going to, I believe, demonstrate to us some of the techniques that you're talking about. And I should point out, as we get that shot set up, that one of our CNN interns, who I believe is Melanie Blank, is getting the best end of this interview deal tonight because I believe she's going to get the massage, if I'm not wrong.
Here she is.
Okay. You developed the idea basically to try to give us an opportunity to solve some problems that we may have in the office. The quick massage that's going to eliminate stress, am I correct?
Yeah, well, I think the pressures are so great these days that it comes down to drugs or massage. Which one do you want your employees to be doing? So this is the sort of thing that teams of masseurs are already doing in a lot of big companies. Apple Computer, for example, it's beginning at Pacific Telephone. The massage break versus the coffee break. Let me show you how it works.
Okay. What areas, while you're massaging, go ahead if you will, let me ask a couple of questions while you're doing that.
Sure.
The areas where we more frequently find stress.
Well, one of the things that you learn in massage is that there are physiological differences between men and women. And women experience tension usually around the neck and shoulders.
Go ahead and proceed with
men more often along the lower back. So let's pretend that Melanie does a lot of work at a CRT or a typewriter, that sort of thing, and she's got a lot of stress right around her neck and shoulders. Here's what I'd do. I'd come in first and I'd adjust the top of her back, but very simple thing. You just pull back on one shoulder like this, push forward on the other one. You don't let her help you at all. If you're doing the massage, you do all the work. Your partner just does, it just remains passive. And then once I did that a few times, I'd have her lean forward onto a pillow. Anything would do. And I'd try to focus on this whole area here. And this is really where a lot of your headaches come from. What you can do is you can improve the circulation to the brain by working right around here. Also get into the heart and lung area too. These percussion strokes carry right through the body. You notice how I'm breaking it at the wrist? You notice how I'm not pounding on her, and even this one that you see in movies so often, this kind of snapping movement, it's done like this.
Okay. Continue on with that. Let me ask a couple of questions while you're doing, and we can watch. The massage has gotten kind of a lousy rap, hasn't it? A bad name, if you will.
Well, yeah, I think there is a tendency to use massage as a euphemism for prostitution, but nobody's really fooled by that. And massage is coming out of the closet these days. You know, people need it, and they're using it.
You mentioned Apple Computer and some other companies that that are encouraging this. Is this a company-sponsored thing where they're actually paying for massages?
Sure, and if we lived in Japan, you'd see a lot more of this is being paid for by companies, because it's on-the-job stress control. Everybody wants it, and people don't know where to go for it. So, but my idea is that you don't really even need professionals. It's it's a skill easily learned by amateurs. Anybody can do it.
If someone were to come to you or ask you to come to their home for a massage, so what's a massage, or come to their office, perhaps that's more appropriate in terms of a question, what's that going to cost?
Well, I think the going rate is about $25, $30 an hour, but it varies from one part of the country to another.
What we're talking about here, though, is something that's not going to take an hour, or you're suggesting that in 2 or 3 minutes.
I'm talking about 2 or 3 minutes.
Boy, I wish you were here. I have a terrible headache.
That's what everybody, every time, if you're a masseur and you go to a party, you find out what's hurting people.
And from the look of the smile on Melanie's face, it seems like she might be enjoying it as well.
This is a friction movement where you can just reach in without using any oil. You anchor it with this hand like this, and then you can turn right on those muscles with your fingertips.
Gordon, I tell you what, we're going to take a break right here, and we'll be back in just a moment. We're going to take some phone calls and let some folks ask you some questions, if you don't mind. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Newsnight Update. Our guest tonight is Gordon Inkelis. He's the author of a book called Unwinding. He is a massage therapist. That's what the book's all about. Gordon, we were going to perhaps flip through the book and show some pictures. Unfortunately, we cannot. I noticed that you use primarily in the book nude models. A particular reason for that?
Well, the emphasis on health and beauty is intentional because it's that kind of experience. And also, it's very difficult to show most of the strokes any other way.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, is Melanie asleep yet?
How are you doing, Melanie?
Great.
Oh, okay. I just thought I would check that out. Let's go to some phone calls. We have some people standing by. Gordon, if you would, caller, tell us where you're calling from and your question, please.
I'm calling from Wisconsin, and my question is, I'm experiencing a lot of facial tension that builds up around my eye, around the eye area, and which eventually leads to headaches. And I was wondering if you could give me a hand with that.
Well, I always begin my headache work on just the area that you saw here on Melanie, right at the base of the neck. You can work on the temples and on the forehead. There are a lot of nerves that emerge right at the temples. But really, before you do any of that, or you have someone do any of that, the best place to work on is right across here, and just get some oil up the back, and do 100 circulation strokes up the spine. That's the one that looks like this. Do 100 of those. Lots of repetition. It's easy to do. It's like riding a bicycle. People are sometimes a little bit intimidated by it when they hear the big numbers, but it's lots of repetition that gives you your results.
Okay, let's go to our next caller. Tell us where you're calling from and your question, please.
How you doing? I'm calling from the Bronx. I own a taxi cab company with 30 cabs. I was just wondering, how would you do this with taxi cab drivers from, New York City, which is probably the busiest city in the world? I mean, do you suggest every day this gets done?
Oh, sure. I mean, those guys can massage each other, for that matter.
Or he could have someone come in.
I've worked with truck drivers that do long-distance driving, and they're really afraid of drugs because a lot of them get into the drugs and then they have accidents. And we did a workshop with a big trucking company where we showed them how to relax people, just how to go to one area of the body, how to repeat a few strokes 100 times each, and it makes a big difference.
Okay.
But I wouldn't do it in the taxi cab. I'd certainly have, if you have an office or someplace where they can work on each other for a few minutes. You don't have to take a lot of their time because they're busy and they're tired, but take a few minutes and you'll see the results.
Okay, let's go to another caller. Tell us where you're calling from and your question, please.
I'm calling from Vacaville, California, and my question is, I am a highly stressed person, and I'm curious as to what type of massage could relieve some of that.
Well, where do you experience most of your stress? Can you pinpoint a part of the body?
Actually, I think it's so bad that it's in my whole body.
Are you taking any drugs for it?
No, I'm not.
Well, that's good, because you don't want to compete with drugs. I always tell my students, if they're taking pills, then you've got to get the pills to stop before you start the massage. I think you should go, if you're that stressed, I think you should go in for a full body massage, which takes about an hour to do. And either get with a friend and learn the whole body, which will take you, a week or so to get started doing that, or go to a professional masseur and have them do your whole body. But when you go in, it's important to remember that your body is owner-operated. You should get the massage that you want, not the massage that don't let a masseur tell you what you need. If I'm doing this on Melanie and she likes it, she should be able to ask me to repeat it 100 times, and I should do it. I shouldn't give her an argument.
Okay, Gordon, how would one go about finding a masseur or masseuse that is reputable and so forth and so on?
Well, I think the best, you know, you've got to audition them on your own body, and that's going to become a part of corporate job hiring. Is they're going to have somebody that auditions masseurs, I think, for a lot of big companies. You look for somebody that's neat and clean, that comes on time. My idea is that a good masseur is like a good waiter. He or she should remain invisible and attentive to your needs. There's no need to talk a lot, and there's no need to tell the person what they need. They should give you what you want.
Okay, let's go to our next caller. Tell us where you're calling from and your question, please.
Yes, I'm calling from High Point, North Carolina. My question is, I have been to masseuse before, and I'm curious if you think the cost justifies the benefit of this program.
Sure I do. Sure I do. Well, I think, as I said before, I think it's the kind of thing you can learn to do yourself and trade massages with a friend. But if you have to pay for it, it's one of the great pleasures in life, and it's well worthwhile.
Okay, let's go to another caller. Tell us where you're calling from and your question, please.
I'm calling from Savannah, Georgia, and I'd like to know, what can you do to yourself to relieve the tension from your head?
Unfortunately, there isn't. Self-massage is not really valid. You can massage your scalp. That's about it. For some reason, it doesn't really work to massage the rest of your body yourself. But either find yourself a good partner or go to a professional and have it done there. There are, by the way, all sorts of nasty chemicals that come out of the body when you get massaged. Irritants, acids, lactic acid, things like that come out of the body. It's like taking the body and squeezing it out like a sponge.
Okay. Let's go to another caller. Tell us where you're calling from and your question, please.
Calling from Salt Lake City.
Okay.
Yeah, and I get half-side, really bad headaches early in the morning, and I work about 16 hours a day, and at evening time I get really bad pain in my lower back, and I don't use no drug, nothing for it.
Well, if it's really intense pain, you should get checked by a doctor. Make sure there's no structural damage to the spine. But a lot of times, I don't know if you can see down here on Melanie's back, but there are two rows of muscles that run parallel to the spine. If one of the men get the tension right here, because one row gets tenser than the other and pulls the spine in one direction, and it's excruciatingly painful, but it's not necessarily difficult to change it. You can do fingertip kneading strokes like this, tenderize those muscles and soften them up. Of course, I'd use oil to make it even easier, but this is what it looks like.
Okay, let's go to another caller. Tell us where you're calling from and your question, please. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, your question.
Yes, I'd like to know, are there certain points in the back that can be massaged to relieve pain in other areas, such as for cramps?
Can you say that again?
Okay. I'd like to know if there are certain points in the back that can be massaged to relieve pain in other areas, such as for cramps. Other areas of the body.
The question would seem to almost apply to acupuncture, where you might massage one part of the body in order to solve a problem in another part, I believe. Is
yeah, well...
acupressure, perhaps?
Are there points in the back that you would... I don't really subscribe to those kind of theories. I think that the human body... I don't really believe in button pushing. I don't think that the human body is like the dashboard of a Toyota, where you can push buttons here and have something happen elsewhere. My publisher always tells me, don't use the word work because people are afraid of it. But there is a certain amount of work that you have to do in massage, and to say that you can do this, this, and this and make big changes happen is laziness. If you do the work, and it's not hard work, it's easy work, you can accomplish a lot more. Again, repetition of a few movements.
Okay, let's go to another caller. Tell us where you're calling from and your question, please.
Yes, I'm calling from Galveston, Texas. I suffer a lot from migraine headaches, mainly above the eyes, and I was wondering if there's some kind of massage that could be helpful for that.
Well, give it a try and see what you think, and guide the masseur. Have them start off on the upper back across here, and then have them go onto the temples and onto the front of your face, and see what happens. It's not a cure-all. You know, it's not going to replace medicine, but there are a lot of things that can be dealt with without drugs, and I think when you can do that, you should.
Okay. All right, let's go to another caller. Tell us where you're calling from and your question, please.
I'm from Los Angeles, California.
Okay, go ahead.
Where can we learn to become masseuses?
Aha.
Oh, there are a lot of good schools now, and that's something that's very encouraging. Is now that massage is becoming. I know whenever I speak at colleges, a lot of the students are interested in it because they can be their own boss. They can make good money as soon as they get their licenses, and you do something concrete and real for people. You will also never be replaced by a machine.
Okay. Is there an
so check out your area.
Gordon, is there an association?
Yes, AMTA in Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles, so people could. You wouldn't happen to know the address? I
don't have that with me, but I'm sure they're listed.
Okay. Okay. Let's go to another caller. Tell us where you're calling from and your question, please.
Yes. I'm from Seattle.
Okay.
And I just left a class. I'm enrolled in a school here in Seattle, massage therapy class, and we have a student in our class that moved up here recently because she felt like this down in California to get licensed, it wasn't as serious as it was in other parts of the country. She said you had to go through the Vice Squad to get licensed there, and I was wondering what Gordon, if he could tell me a little about that. Maybe it's changed recently, or...
Did you understand the question, Gordon?
Yeah, I understand the question. There are different licensing requirements for almost every town in California, so it's a mess. And until something is done, I think the confusing massage with prostitution is really silly. I think it's something that is receding fast into history because massage is now coming into the corporate world and into the home in a very real way. And people are learning how to, it's an easy skill. It's like learning how to use a knife and fork. It's that simple to do.
Gordon, we thank you. Our guest tonight, Newsnight Update, has been Gordon Inkelis. He is the author of a book called Unwinding. Gordon, I suspect Melanie also thanks you, and we appreciate the callers as well, and we'll be back in just a moment.